risk is just part of life. And I found that some of the best things I've been able to achieve have actually been hidden behind layers of risk or being scared. And recently in a podcast with my friend Ryan, we talked about raising kids, taking risks, and how those two, they don't always go hand in hand. So check it out. It's not like you can put an Apple tag on a kid, right? It's like
You can.
I know, but it's kind of
We do it
creepy.
when we like go to the zoo and stuff and like put it on there.
But on them,
It's like
Like,
it's like
it's still
we
in the clothing or in the
it's in their
pocket.
clothing.
Yeah.
Like it's not a foolproof thing, but
No.
I think it's because we're so hyper aware of all of the evil in the world
sure.
that how can you not be paranoid?
But
to
I
a
would say
degree,
it's
right?
security fear though. Right? It's just to make you feel better about it. The risk is still there. It doesn't change
Absolutely.
the risk. Right? So like that for us. So when it comes to the tracking stuff, that to me is like, I get it. And it can make you feel better, but it still doesn't change the risk involved, right? It's like kind of like I'm going to wear, a layer of bubble wrap while bungee jumping, It's like, because this will save me if the thing breaks.
Yeah. We are a softer generation. I'm not gonna lie. Like I do want to feel better about it though, right? Because like I think about it when I was a teenager. If my parents were like, "Hey, take this thing so we can find your location," I would have been like, "See ya later."
Yeah.
That's not happening, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, also my kids are still super young, so I'm still in that kind of mode where
because you're still in the protector phase of parenting.
Absolutely.
Right? And then you get into that phase where you're like, okay, I got to teach this person how to be an adult.
Yeah, and you start to let go more and more. I was
Yeah.
even thinking this morning when I dropped my kids off at the bus stop, and I'm like, okay, I just sat in the car and they walked to the bus
Yeah.
and hopped on. But I remember like for the first month or two
like
when they
sitting
started the
there
bus, I was like,
watching.
yeah, help him on the bus. I'm like, oh, he's on the bus all by himself.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so stressful and crazy, and I got to let go. But that's parenthood. You have to let go because eventually they're going to leave. So you have to slowly let go more and more. So, thanks for the call out, Ash.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And let me go a little bit further then. Do you think that all of your successes were from low risk endeavors?
Okay, well, that's a rhetorical question. Like, obviously not. Like everything we've done, like especially in the private sector, there is risk. You have to take risk when it's business, even a relationship. It is a risk. You have to put yourself out there, be vulnerable, and that's not just on a romantic relationship, friendships, business. I have a business partner. That's a big risk. To take your best friend.
Yeah.
And partner with him financially. My well-being is tied to this person.
Yeah.
That's risky.
Daryl's your work husband.
Like very much so.
Very much so. And like I say in a jokey way, but honestly,
We share a bank account. Like that's pretty intimate. I don't know if you can get more intimate than that, right?
I think so. Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, my point is this: where do we draw the line in teaching our kids about risk and allowing them risk? Right, because I know I go through the same thing where the kids will go on like, make sure you text me when you get there. And so like we did a bus, training for the kids the other day where we're like, when you get to the spot, just text us a photo of you. So the first thing my shithead daughter does is forget to text me that and text me 4 hours later. So for 4 hours, Trish is like freaking out. I'm just like, don't stress. She's probably just forgot. And then literally is like, doop, got the phone. I'm like, okay, cool. They arrived. And it's like 4 hours later, but
absolutely.
it's giving them the space to make those risks and to do that. And that's, as a parent, is the hardest part of being a parent.
Yeah, because we do need to teach them and train them to take risks. They did these studies on gender pay gap, and they found one of the reasons that a lot of these men were getting these promotions and raises was because they were less adverse to taking risk, whereas the women tended to be, this is like generally speaking, of course, they tended to not be so keen on taking that risk to maybe upset their boss and say something. So the less adverse you are to risk, the greater reward is there. So we want to teach our kids, especially from this data, my daughter, to be able to take appropriate risk. You don't want to take needless risk because then you can be in a world of pain that way. But not even just business, but if you're going for a job, it's a risk to put yourself out there.
Yep.
And I actually had a friend. He took a big risk on applying for a job. It was really fascinating. Instead of just dropping off the resume, he printed off his resume, crumpled it up, put it in a trash can, and delivered the trash can to the place where he was applying.
Okay.
And the employer's like, "What the heck is this?" Well, he pulls out the thing, sees it and he's like, I'm sure you go through a lot of resumes and most of them are garbage. I thought I'd just do you the service of putting it in the trash can already for you. And it stood out so much.
Yes.
It identified with the humor of the employer,
boss, yeah,
and he got the job. So like that was a pretty big risk.
I would
and it was
hire him.
awesome. I would too. I was like, I wish people would apply to jobs with us that creatively, right? Like, don't just give me a piece of paper. Be creative, especially in the multimedia area where we're in. It's like you have so many tools to stand out and make yourself known to us. Do that. But I think part of it is like we're talking about, like there isn't a big tolerance for risk in our culture. We want that security. We want everything to be nice and tight and safe. And yeah, here I'm calling myself out now, and it's just like,
It's good though.
we do need to push ourselves out of that because I think the rewards will be that much better.
Yeah. And I think like, and you know, sorry for calling you out, but
That's okay, Ash. That's why we're friends. This is good. I need
we
it.
do this a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, but I find that we often, it's our own fears that get in the way. And so there's one, I can't remember who said it and it's going to bug me now, but they said, when you're looking for advice, don't take the advice of your loved ones, because the advice of your loved ones, they're the maximum they're going to be. And often when you're asking them for advice, it's usually you're trying to push beyond, right? Instead, look for the advice of the people that have done it, right? So that to me is everything, because now it's like, well, you've taken that risk, right? You've taken that risk and you built, you know, whatever you built. What did you learn from it? And that's kind of what these conversations are, right? It's like you've built something, you've done something, right? And like you took up jujitsu recently, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do jiu-jitsu. Thanks for bringing it up. I was waiting to bring up jiu-jitsu, as all jiu-jitsu practitioners
Right.
do.
I
We bring
know.
it up all the time because it's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's risk and reward in that.
Oh,
it's,
yes.
It's very apparent very quick,
Yes.
right? Your risk will pay off or it definitely won't, and it will hurt.
And it takes time. It's a risk that you're continually taking over and over and
Yeah.
over again. So I've been doing it for just over a year now. Finally got some stripes on my belt, but it was so discouraging for the first half year, 8 months, because I'm just getting my ass kicked.
Yep.
Every week I'm going, and I'm not seeing that improvement when I go. But then you look at it over the year, I'm like, oh wow, actually, I have improved significantly.
Yeah.
And there's a great reward for that. And jiu-jitsu, by the way, not just the physical, but the mental. It's like I'll have like a rough week, or even just a rough day, and I'm just like, oh, I'm feeling anxiety, I'm stressed, what's going on? I go roll on the mats for
the
an
mats.
hour, feel amazing, feel like $1 million, feel like I accomplished something. Burn like 800 calories in a session.
It's wild, isn't
which
it?
is nuts. So
Yeah.
I'm probably closest to the best shape of my life right now because of jiu-jitsu. It's awesome.